So this video is going to be all about intervals, and intervals are simply the distance between two notes. And when talking about simple ones, we don't have to go too much further into knowing a clef or anything like that between two notes. Okay, so in fact, I've left out the clef here on purpose. We don't need a clef at all. All you have to do for the simple intervals is count like this. Let's go with this color. We simply count the line that we start on or the space that we start on and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is a sixth. It's that simple. All you have to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a sixth. From here, let's do one more together, and then you can be on your own. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Simple 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a fourth. Okay, so go ahead and try the rest of these, and if you want, you can even try these. All you have to do is write an interval above and write an interval below, and see if you can figure out where the notes go on these. Okay, so pause the video now, or watch me do it. Let's keep going. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, this is a second, and you can see it's written off to the side here. We usually don't write seconds like this. This is, for obvious reasons, it's difficult to read that. It's much easier to see them if they're offset like this. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a seventh. This is a third because 1, 2, 3, and eventually you'll start looking at these and you'll be like, oh, thirds look like this, and blah, blah, blah. So you'll be able to pick these out a lot easier. Okay, this one is a little strange. This is called a 1, or a first. I once had a student ask me, well, is there such thing as a 0? And I said, it's not really that easy. And they said, well, what if you go down? And I said, well, that's still an interval, like, you know, if we had this note to down to this note, this is still a third, right? Because you can count up. This is just going down a third versus up a third. So my student said, oh, well, maybe this. If you have a note, this can be a 0. If you have a note and then nothing, if you have nothing after it, maybe that's a 0. And I said, oh, okay, that's fine. So I guess it's possible to have a 0. So technically all these are zeros right now, but anyway, let's continue. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this is a fifth. Okay. Moving down here, we got right the interval above, so we have a fourth. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 is in this space, so we simply draw a note in this space right there. Okay, second is super easy. It's right next door, so we just write a note either on this side or this side. I don't know if there's any reason why to draw it on one side versus the other. Okay, a ninth is kind of far, but go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is all the way up there. Okay. And a third going up is 1, 2, 3. Remember, we start counting the one that we start with. Seventh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is up here. Fifth is simply 1, 2, 1, I forgot again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And an eighth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's that simple. Okay, one thing to note before we continue is check this out. An even number will go from space to line or line to space. An odd number will go from line to line or space to space. I don't have any space examples, do I? Oh, here we go. Here's an odd space to space. Here's an odd line to line. Okay, here's another odd line to line. Okay, so that's a good way. If you want to write a ninth but it's not the same, then maybe if you come out like this or something where a note is on a space and then another note is on a line, then this has to be an even number. So if you're trying to write an odd number and you come up with this, maybe something is wrong and you can double check. Okay, so let's go ahead and write below. Let me switch colors here, and we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is down here. Same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's a fourth. 6 below this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is here. A second below is simply here. 8 below is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is down here. Now, we have to use a ledger line because we've run out of lines and spaces. So this was 6, 7, and 8 is here. So you'd have to write a line. You would have to draw this line and do that note there. Okay. Fifth is like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a third is simply 1, 2, and 3. Okay, these are simple intervals. We will later talk about, oh, look at that. We will later talk about how to talk about these in a more complex sense.